Kansas Corn is a farmer-led organization comprised of the Kansas Corn Growers Association and the Kansas Corn Commission. We grow corn. Kansas Corn is a farmer-led organization comprised of the Kansas Corn Growers Association and the Kansas Corn Commission. We grow corn and so much more. We grow the future. In 2019, through our Kansas Corn STEM education program, we reached 51,000. Kansas Corn is a farmer-led organization comprised of the Kansas Corn Growers Association and the Kansas Corn Commission. We grow corn and so much more. We grow the future. In 2019, through our Kansas Corn STEM education program, we reached 51,000 Kansas students in grades K through 12. Through our collegiate programs, we awarded $18,000 worth of scholarships to Kansas students at our annual symposium in January 2020. We grow demand. Building domestic and export markets for our corn and corn products is a top priority. That's why 59% of our budget goes towards strengthening export, ethanol, and livestock markets. We grow innovation by funding research for profitability, sustainability, and new uses for corn. We grow Kansas FFA. Our love for the blue and gold holds true. We are proud supporters of our agricultural education teachers, local FFA chapters, and the Kansas FFA Association. Follow us on social media for news and updates. We hope you enjoy the 92nd Kansas State FFA Convention, and thank you to everyone who helps grow Kansas corn.
In today's market, successful farming takes more than a good harvest. It takes farmers working together with groups like the Kansas Soybean Commission to help grow the future of soy in our state and beyond. Headed by 9 farmer leaders elected by fellow Kansas soybean farmers, the Kansas Soybean Commission helps to move the soy industry forward by focusing on 3 areas of development: expanding domestic and international markets, advancing production and research into new uses, and providing outreach to farmers and consumers.
We're always looking for ways to improve the bottom line for the Kansas soybean producer. We've got production research, biodiesel, consumer outreach. These are things that we try to get across to not only the producer but also the public in what we're doing and how we're trying to improve.
We started our Precision Ag program about 25 years ago. Today, when we start looking at different products and services that we're going to bring to our customers, it has to fill a need or solve a problem, it has to create an efficiency, or it has to have a positive return on investment. You know, when we're working with Precision Ag, it's still just farming. We're still planting, spraying, harvesting, we're spreading fertilizer, we're irrigating. We're just using technology to help make that better.
Right now, it feels like the world's standing still. But if you look to the land, it's a whole different story. From farms to backyards, wheels are turning, seeds are being planted, animals are getting fed, grass is growing, and families are giving their all to the soil. Because no matter how uncertain things get, the land never stops. So to all those linked to the land, we say thank you. We're here for you because we all run together.
For the past century, Kansas Farm Bureau, through advocacy, education, and service, has been working with and on behalf of farmers to make sure they have support needed to be successful. We too believe in the future of agriculture, and one of our main sources of that faith and hope is we believe in you, the next generation of ag leaders.
And even though we aren't together in Manhattan this year, we know that the knowledge you've gained, the skills you've developed, and the success you've achieved, that will hold us true even through a global pandemic. Because your FFA experience is about more than the accolades you earn. It's about the person you become. It's about embracing the struggle and the challenges, because you know that growth and joy lie on the other side. It's about pressing forward into uncharted territory so that others can follow your lead. It's about doing what's in your control to earn what you can and to share what you have with others who need it.
So take a minute to enjoy this time of reflection and celebration of your work and accomplishment from the past year. There is so much good to remember and share. And then, as you go back to daily life, remember your creed. Because in times like these, when things are tough for many working to feed our world, American agriculture can and will hold true. But we all need to do our part in our homes and in communities and exert the influence we have in order to, once again, see a bright future for agriculture. We know you're doing your part, and we're working to do our part as well. Congratulations again, and enjoy your conference.
Hello, FFA members, and greetings from the CHS Foundation. I hope all of you are well and that you and your families are staying safe and healthy. On behalf of the CHS Foundation, I just wanted to send you this quick note and congratulate all of you on all of your FFA achievements over this last year. We know that state convention, your school classes, and FFA all look a little different this year, but we are so impressed by the ways that all of you are adapting and continuing to live out that FFA motto by learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, and living to serve. The CHS Foundation is so proud to support each and every one of you on your journey through FFA and as you gain the skills to become that next generation of ag leaders. Congratulations on everything you've achieved this past year, and the very best of luck to all of you in your future endeavors. Thank you.
My F-150 is working, even when I'm not. When I head out for the weekend with friends, I know it can handle everything since it's got an available max payload of 3,270 pounds. And it could tow 13,200 pounds. I used to hate backing up my trailer. This F-150 has an available feature that makes it really easy. Now I do it like a pro.
Growing the market for Kansas-made ethanol is a win-win for Kansans.
And we, as FFA members, can help.
Last year, Kansas Corn launched the Fueled by Kansas campaign to drive consumers to step up from regular unleaded to E15 at the pump.
What's E15?
It's fuel with 15% ethanol compared to the usual 10% in regular unleaded. E15 is more affordable, has better performance, and runs cleaner than regular unleaded, meaning Kansas drivers can go further for less.
In March, 5 FFA chapters helped introduce E15, also called Unleaded 88, at Casey's locations across the state.
On behalf of Kansas Corn, a big thanks goes out to Dodge City, Hiawatha, Hugoton, Inman, and Ottawa FFA chapters for helping at these events.
And now, we can help by spreading the word. How?
First, visit fueledbykansas.com to find a station near you.
That way, the next time your chapter is heading to a CDE in the school suburban, or you're hauling livestock to the fair, you'll know where to fill up with Kansas-made E15.
Secondly, tell your friends and family about the benefits of ethanol to Kansas. From helping Kansas farm families by stabilizing grain prices and growing their markets, helping Kansas become more energy independent, and adding more than 4,000 jobs in Kansas, more of our money stays right here at home because of ethanol.
And be sure to like Fueled by Kansas on Facebook.
Wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet, there's an opportunity to fuel Kansas.
We're powerful influencers for agriculture in our communities, Kansas FFA. Let's join together and spread the word.
And get fueled by Kansas.
Here at Kubota Tractor Corporation, we want to remind you how critical the FFA is for our country and our world. The global Kubota Corporation actually started with a 19-year-old kid Gonshiro Kubota, who developed iron water pipes to deliver clean water to his community, a life-saving innovation in 1890s Japan. That's the same spirit that founded the Kubota Tractor Corporation here in America. That's why Kubota Tractor Corporation is not only directly investing in the FFA, we're also invested in the community. Based in Texas, building machines in Georgia, designing engines in Illinois. And last year, we formed our Midwest Division, completing a state-of-the-art training facility and our largest North American supply chain campus here in Edgerton, Kansas, the heart of the Midwest. From a complete line of tractors to construction equipment, hay tools, and more, we're pushing the highest quality engineering to elevate this industry, and we can't wait to see how you elevate it even more. So on behalf of our entire nation, we thank you. We encourage you. Together, we do more.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 92nd Annual Kansas FFA Convention. Please welcome your 2019-2020 Kansas FFA Officer Team. Your Sentinel, Mason Prester. Please welcome your reporter, J.W. Wells. Your Kansas FFA Treasurer, Lucas Sebesta. Please welcome your Secretary, Elizabeth Wright. Your Kansas FFA Vice President, Abby Goins. Please welcome your President, Logan Elliott. Countdown to showtime. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 92nd Annual Kansas FFA Convention.
The association will come to order. We are now holding this virtual session of the 92nd Kansas FFA Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Mr. President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the states of Alaska to the Virgin Islands, and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standing through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom, and being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep the plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Mr. President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are Kansas FFA members, advisors, and guests viewing, Mr. President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and to develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this session of the 92nd Kansas FFA Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented. Kansas FFA members, advisors, and guests, welcome to the 92nd Kansas FFA Convention. The next 3 days that we spend together are filled with the recognition of amazing accomplishments from the last year. Much time, effort, and commitment is focused on reaching these accomplishments, similar to what many of us would put into any project that we are passionate about. All of us have started a project before. Sometimes it's simply an idea in mind and a tool in hand that we use to create a final product. And sometimes it takes a little more planning, maybe even a blueprint, multiple phases, and some very specific tools. FFA members and chapters all across the state have been working on their own projects this last year. They have held true by putting in many hours of planning and hard work to see their ideas and goals come to fruition. This week, we will recognize and applaud their efforts. It's time to kick off this session. First, we will welcome new chapters into our association by announcing those who have received their chapter charters. Then, Mr. J.W. Wells, your state reporter, will deliver his retiring address. Next, we'll recognize one of our own retiring advisors and the first of our Proficiency Award winners. After the inspiring words from your state secretary, Ms. Elizabeth Wright, let's highlight chapters excelling in the National Chapter Awards and recognize another of our retiring advisors who have dedicated their career to agricultural education. Kansas FFA, grab your safety gear and get ready to get to work as we lay out our convention blueprint this session. A project begins with an idea and a plan. There are steps prior to beginning work that one must take so that the end product is the best that it can be. We lay out a blueprint of sorts as the first step toward the great things to come. As our association grows, we have the incredible opportunity to welcome those who have taken the steps necessary to begin making a difference through FFA and agricultural education, holding true to the mission of our organization. Let's recognize this year's chapter charters.
Hello everybody, my name is Bobby Waldschmidt. I'm the Ag Teacher and FFA Advisor here in Attica, Kansas. We have a brand new startup program this year consisting of junior high and high school kids. Our first year we have 24 members, which is pretty awesome for a 1A school. We're one of the few clubs on campus, so that's been really cool to be able to get kids involved and go to different contests so they can explore and see what FFA has to offer. Really excited for what's to come next year and hopefully get more involvement from the community as well as increase our member count and be able to go to more contests and contribute more to FFA. Hope you all have a great summer and look forward to the day when we can see each other face to face again.
I believe in the future of agriculture.
With a faith born not of words,
but of deeds.
Achievements won
by the present and the past generations of agriculturalists.
In the promise of better days.
Through better ways.
Even as the better things we now enjoy
have come to us.
From the struggles of former years.
Our town is valuing in our chapter is the opportunity that they haven't gotten in the past. That opportunity is to learn about agriculture in the high school setting so that their students can be better prepared for their post-secondary careers.
So Dr. Burdett, how has the community already shown support to our FFA chapter?
Well, there's a few things that I'm aware of. There's probably a lot of things that happened that I'm just not aware of. But, you know, we want first and foremost have a great advisory board. I think a bunch of motivated individuals to help with the FFA chapter. So that's one thing. You know, I know at the clinic we have some access to some free money. Basically, it's free for stuff that we already do with one of the major drug companies, Zoetis, and that money gets redirected by the company to the FFA chapter, so that's another way. I know, being on the fair board, that we've talked a lot about how it is that we're going to be able to help the FFA members to exhibit at the local county fair, and so, you know, I think there's just a lot of people that's very excited about this chapter and willing to do whatever it takes to make it successful.
Hi, I'm Trevor Bartz, my chapter secretary, and I'm excited for going to events and meeting new people.
Hi, my name is Sierra Nord, and this is my first year in FFA, and it's our first year that my school, Larned, has ever had an FFA chapter. I am grateful to have the opportunity to be able to join FFA because I'm able to learn more about the ag industry. Some of the things that we go over in our ag class are plants, soil, food, and animals.
I think that some of the cool things that we do in FFA is that we learn about ag and all the career and possibilities that people can go into and explore. And the other things that I enjoy that we do is we encourage younger members to join, like incoming freshmen or anyone who goes to the high school. So we encourage more kids to join, and basically having an FFA chapter means to me is that I have the opportunity to learn about ag, and it's important that every kid learns about ag. So thank you.
My favorite thing about opening an FFA chapter is giving my students the same FFA experience that I have.
The thing that I'm most excited about in having an FFA chapter is that all the stuff that we are able to do, like all the events and activities that we're able to attend because of it, it just makes the whole school year a lot more fun.
What I'm looking forward to in having an FFA chapter is learning new skills and how to become a leader and making bonds that will last forever.
Our community support so far has been outstanding. They've helped us financially or just with time and labor. They've helped us with concession stands all the way up to our tractor safety day.
Please join me in welcoming Niall Osborne, Taryn Sherman, and Samuel Carlisle as they provide a very special introduction.
We proudly introduce
your 2019-2020 Kansas State FFA reporter,
J.W. Wells.
J.W. has been a best friend to me throughout the past few years. We have bonded together through Star Wars, Marvel, and anything nerd-like. We have become great friends regardless because of J.W.'s outgoing heart and his drive to be great. And because of that, I can call him a brother.
The love he has for this organization, or more importantly, each and every single one of you, is what constantly motivates and encourages him.
JW has taught me almost everything I know about leadership, whether it be from learning by his example or giving me great advice. He is a leader that I can trust and depend on, and I am proud to call JW my friend.
What is the measure of a life well lived? Is it the number of zeros in our bank accounts? The love and support from those we care about? Or is it something else? For me, the measure of a life well lived is living to our values. That way, we can be the best for every day we are given. Our values guide how we can positively impact people. I learned this lesson from one of the best mentors I have ever had, my Aunt Loretta. Aunt Loretta's boisterous personality never failed to bring a smile to anyone's face. In fact, if you or I ever had a frown on our face, my Aunt Loretta would go out of her way just to liven up our days. In fact, almost every day during the first 2 months of my 4th grade year, I needed a lot of cheering up every day after school. You see, during the summer before, everything was new to me. My family had moved from Kansas to Skiatook, Oklahoma, and with this came a new place, a new school, and a new situation I had never found myself in before. having no friends other than my parents at home. During the first 2 months at my new school, I was disappointed in the fact that I hadn't made any new friends, and I blamed that on myself. I thought that no one wanted to be friends with a kid who was overweight and couldn't play dodgeball, basketball, any sport that has a ball in it, as well as his friends. Every day during PE or on the playground during recess, while I was on the line waiting to see whose team I would be picked for, I would think to myself, JW, today is the day. Today, during this awesome, amazing game of line tag, I am not going to be the last person picked. Unfortunately for that day, I was the last person picked. Same as the next, the day after, the week after, and for the rest of my 4th grade year. One day, during a typical game of Scrabble at my Aunt Loretta's after I had gotten home from school, her voice carried from the kitchen as she asked me how my day was. Suddenly, all of the anxiety, emotions, and pressure that I had been bottling up over the last 2 months came spewing out in a flurry. I told my Aunt Loretta that I didn't feel like I would ever belong in Skytook, and that I missed my old friends, my old life in Kansas. I told my Aunt Loretta that I wasn't worthy of having friends because no one wanted to risk being nice to the overweight kid who nobody wanted on their team. Then, my Aunt Loretta turned on her wheelchair and she moved to my side. JW, who you are, your worth, your value is not measured by your weight. You are so much more than that. She then took her hand and placed it over my heart. Who you are lies in here. That forever changed my life. What I noticed most about Aunt Loretta in particular that day is how easy I can relive this experience and then recall the impact it had on me, simply because of my Aunt Loretta's values of spirit and compassion and how those same values affected me. Here I was, miserable at the fact of how I may be perceived because of my weight or my level of athleticism. However, Aunt Loretta, a woman who is wheelchair bound and has faced many similar challenges in her life, completely changed mine just by letting her values shine brighter than anything else. We all have values in our hearts, regardless of our background, gender, creed, physical abilities, or orientation. When we know who we are and what truths we hold evident to ourselves, we can authentically impact the world around us. No material can change someone's life like we can by living through our values. No matter the number of zeros in our bank accounts, no matter the amount of medals, plaques, or banners we might have won, or no matter what symbols of status we may or may not have, none of these things can change someone's life like we can by living through our values. Our values are something we exemplify every day, regardless if we recognize them or not. Our value of responsibility is exemplified through the commitments that we make, regardless if it's our FFA chapter or to other organizations we may belong to. Our value of honesty is exemplified by being trustworthy to our friends, family, and our mentors. Or our value of faith can be looking at the positives in a negative situation. That way we can keep moving forward. A value I hold true to myself is serving others. I see my value of service as keeping my hands working and my feet moving. That way I can authentically change the world around me. I live to my value of service by doing the unrequired, regardless if that is washing the dishes after my chapter's banquet or by helping other members set up the meeting room for our monthly meeting next period. When we know what lies in our hearts, which is our values, we can then define our identity. What values do we have? How do we live those values? When we know the values we hold true to ourselves, we can then use our identity to change the lives around us. My Aunt Loretta used her identity of compassion to lift others up. If our identity is honesty, use that to build trust with your family and friends and your mentors. Or if we identify with creativity, our out-of-the-box thinking will help make goals thought unachievable, achievable. No matter what our identity is, there is a positive impact that can be made by using it. How do we use our identity to shape and change the lives around us for the better? After my Aunt Loretta told me that what is in my heart matters more than my weight, I didn't feel the need to fit into my new school that much anymore. In fact, by following the values in my heart, no less than a week later, I finally found a group of classmates that I was proud to call my friends. When we all follow my Aunt Loretta's wisdom of following the values in our hearts, those values define our identity, and then we can live by our identity to inspire greatness, to motivate, to raise the bar of expectations, to change someone's life forever. And when we do that, we are the best that we can be for every day we are given.
JW, thank you for always seeking to raise the bar. Your desire to make positive change and help those around you have made our year of service that much more impactful. A constant hunt for adventure and excitement for life have certainly kept us on our toes. When you put your mind to it, you can truly do incredible things. Love, Abby, Elizabeth, Lucas, Mason, and Logan. Kansas FFA, your 2019-2020 State FFA reporter, J.W. Wells.
Mrs. Hill, Mr. Hendricks, thank you so much for bringing your energy and passion to Sedan Public Schools, and for supporting every student that walks through the front door, such as when you supported me over 2 years ago when I walked through those doors the first time. Your continued support of FFA and agricultural education allows Sedan students to learn valuable life lessons not found in the traditional classroom. Kansas FFA, allow me to introduce my principal, Mrs. Kay Hill, and my superintendent, Mr. Nathan Hendricks. Mr. Neiman, Mr. Souls, Dad, words cannot describe how much each of you has impacted my life and guided me throughout high school. Mr. Neiman, thank you for all of the Route 44s from Sonic after we had finished checking show pics. Thank you for all of the inspirational speeches every year before state finals for speech. And thank you for being one of my inspirations to run for state office. Mr. Souls, thank you for being the down-to-earth mentor for me when I lived in Skiatook. I never had to hesitate to ask you about anything, regardless if that is faith, family, westerns, or agriculture. Dad, thank you for giving me the freedom to find who I wanted to be in and out of the jacket. And thank you for all of the times you have called me out of school. That way I can run to Subway and grab us up both lunch. That way we can enjoy a quiet environment to talk FFA, our favorite TV show Yellowstone, or simply put, the newest top 10 Watch Mojo list. Kansas FFA, it is my honor to introduce the ag teachers who have shaped me into who I am. From Skiatook FFA, Mr. Cody Neiman and Mr. Steve Souls. And from Sedan FFA, my father, Mr. John Wells. Mom, I am so proud and so lucky to be able to call you my mother. Your unconditional love made every place we've ever lived in feel like home. Thank you for being my North Star. Thank you for all of the deep conversations we've had about life. And thank you for always picking me up every time I have failed. Dad, everyone says that I am an exact copy of you, which, to be honest, is pretty good, considering that as a child, you and Mom said that you found me under a rock. Dad, I can't fully describe how much you are important to me. Thank you for instilling in me the premise that you always work until the job is done. Thank you for instilling in me that you always live up to your word. And thank you for teaching me the value of hard work always trumps talent. Kansas FFA, I am proud. It is my honor to introduce my parents, John and Marlene Wells.
We now have the incredible opportunity to recognize and thank Mr. Max Keltz for dedicating 31 years to our organization and students.
Mr. Keltz, congratulations on retiring. I thought for sure you would be finished when I graduated. How you survived teaching my class is anyone's guess. Kansas FFA, my name is Brad Montgomery. I'm one of Mr. Keltz's former students. Mr. Keltz, do you remember the Northwest District Public Speaking Contest in 1995? It was held in Russell, Kansas. I had a prepared speech ready to go. It was memorized, it was polished, it was gonna be awesome, but you entered me in the extemporaneous public speaking contest without even asking me or even telling me until about 30 minutes before the contest began. I thought I was going to vomit. A 4 to 6 minute speech with only 20 or 30 minutes to prepare, and I didn't even have the materials with me to prepare with. I thought I was going to die. The contest came, I delivered, and I didn't vomit, I didn't die, and to my great surprise, I did well. I qualified for state, and I went on placing at state that year. I can think back to that moment as a turning point in my life. You saw something in me that I did not see in myself. You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. It was a critical moment for me, not just for the obvious lesson of believing in myself and the confidence, but because you really saw who I was and you pushed me to be the best version of myself. This is not an isolated story. I saw you do this for hundreds of students during the years that you taught and coached me, and you did it for thousands after I graduated. You've shown students that they have a gift of leadership, of public speaking, of showing animals, the list goes on and on. You've shown students how to become the best versions of themselves. Mr. Keltz, that is the mark of an exceptional teacher, a leader, and a coach. That is a life that leaves a legacy. I want you to know that every time I push my kids, whether they're mine or the ones I'm coaching, when I push them out of their comfort zone, that I think of you. Every time I lead people at my job or in ministry, I think of you and how you led and how you taught. Every time that I do something a little bit crazy and nutty to keep my kids out of their comfort zone, I think of you. You will be proud to know that for a kid who is terrified to fill a 4 to 6 minute speech, I now have to work on keeping my speeches short. My buddies tell me that there's not a microphone that I've met that I do not love. So I will end with this. On behalf of the thousands of students that you taught and coached, and let's be honest, the students that you've terrified because you ripped them out of their comfort zone, thank you. Thank you. You see and you believe the best in others. You saw and you believe the best in me, and I am better because of you. Your legacy goes on. Well done, Mr. Keltz. Well done.
One of my all-time favorite projects has been woodworking. All my efforts in woodworking and in the wood shop go toward creating that finished product. Along the way, I keep record of tools, materials, and make sure that I'm well on my way to having a quality piece that fulfills my vision. These next FFA members certainly hold true to their vision as they work tirelessly to keep records and have a top-notch end product. Please join me in celebrating the incredible work of our Proficiency Award winners in the first part of our Proficiency Award pageant.
Hannah Graybill of the Lebec County FFA chapter is this year's winner of the Agricultural Education Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by the Harmon and Diana Bliss family and the Kurt and Pam Dillon family. For her SAE, Hannah became the sole manager of a blog called Flat Aggie, modeled after the children's book Flat Stanley. Hannah worked with agriculturists across the United States to incorporate Flat Aggie into producer reports that she would post on her blog. Hannah shared her blog with teachers across the country to reach over 3,000 students nationwide. Additionally, she job shadowed and brought hands-on agricultural lessons to a class of local fourth graders. Hannah has learned the value of written and verbal communication skills and discovered her passion for agricultural education, which she plans to pursue a degree in after graduation. Hannah is the daughter of Terry Graybill, and her advisors are Kyle Zwallen, Dustin Wiley, and Keith Guerin. Nice work, Hannah.
This year's Agricultural Mechanics Design and Fabrication Proficiency Award winner is Austin Simon of the Renwick FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Abilene Machine. Austin owns and operates Assamese Chicken Coops, a custom coop building service that he began in middle school. Over the past 3 years, he has built his business through advertisements on Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, and t-shirts. Austin manages every step of the process, including taking orders, construction, painting, and delivery of the finished coop. Although he briefly partnered with another local business to market his coops, Austin found that he could better manage his business by maintaining independent pricing and supply. To date, he has sold over 135 chicken coops. After graduation, Austin plans to return to his family farm and become a full-time firefighter. Austin's parents are Kurt and Jennifer Simon, and his advisors are Cody and Cheyenne Holiday. Congratulations, Austin.
Brendan Meek of the Spring Hill FFA chapter is the recipient of the Agricultural Mechanics Repair and Maintenance Entrepreneurship Proficiency Award, sponsored by CanEquip. Brendan rebuilds tractors for his SAE and has completed 2 restorations with another 2 in progress. He has learned to manage his expectations of a project before analyzing what repairs need to be made to make a more comprehensive plan and budget. Brendan's project tractors have been sold to his family farm in order to reduce operating costs. He also exhibits his project tractors at the Kansas State Fair Tractor Restoration Contest, and in 2019 received Grand Champion on his 1949 Farmall M. Because of his progress with his SAE, Brendan plans to open his own tractor repair shop in the future. Brendan is currently a freshman at Kansas State University. His parents are Matt and Jennifer Meek, and his advisor is Alicia Hampton. Keep it up, Brendan.
The Agricultural Mechanics Repair and Maintenance Placement Proficiency Award goes to Hunter McCurdy of the West Franklin FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by CanEquip. Hunter works to restore and repair his family's tractors for their farming operation as part of his SAE. He began simply operating tractors to help with tasks such as tilling ground or mowing pastures, but a desire to learn more about mechanics led to his joining a tractor restoration club, which he has been active in for over 4 years. Hunter has found his greatest challenge in specifically diagnosing engine problems, and enjoys tearing down a tractor to its components in order to rebuild to make it look new again. He is an instructor for the Frontier 4-H District Tractor Restoration Club, where he is responsible for compiling parts lists, setting deadlines, and delegating tasks for other students to restore Ford 8N and 9N tractors. Hunter is currently studying Ag Power and Technology at Pratt Community College and plans to become a tractor mechanic upon graduation. His parents are Ryan and Audra McCurdy, and his advisor is Wyatt Maurer. Great job, Hunter.
Jill Buck of the Jackson Heights FFA chapter is this year's Agricultural Processing Proficiency Award winner. This award is sponsored by City Barbecue. For her SAE, Jill works at Holton Meat Processing, a custom butcher shop. Jill began as part of the cleanup crew, where she thoroughly washed all machinery to prevent food safety risks in their products. She has since been promoted to meat packing technician, where she assists with processing to grind hamburger and sausage products, label meat, and organize the cooler. Jill has learned to identify and process specialty cuts across species and is looking forward to an apprenticeship this summer where she will learn to harvest cattle, cure meat, and advance her management skills. Upon graduation, Jill plans to continue working at Holton Meat Processing and eventually become a butcher and manager. Jill is the daughter of Steve and Janelle Buck, and her advisors are Paul Lears and Michaela McKenzie. Well done, Jill.
The recipient for the Agricultural Sales Placement Proficiency Award is Walker Coral from the Elk Valley FFA chapter. Stewart Seed LLC sponsors this proficiency award. Walker's employed at Mills Feed and Supply, where he interacts with customers on a daily basis and assists with many areas of the business. Over time, his responsibilities have grown to include warehouse, inventory management, mixing and delivering customer orders, and even supervising the store and their employees on Saturdays. During his tenure at Mills Feed, Walker has appreciated being able to learn the best management practices needed to run a successful agribusiness and gaining the soft skills required to have a good rapport with customers. In the future, Walker would like to own and operate his own business after attending North Central Kansas Technical College in the Heavy Equipment Operator program. Walker's parents are Justin and Belinda Coral. His advisor is Christopher Johnston. Way to go, Walker!
Lauren Gates from the Sabetha FFA chapter is this year's winner of the Agricultural Services Proficiency Award. This award is sponsored by Farm Credit Associations of Kansas. Lauren works for Cattlemen's Connection, where she helps manage, type, and design brochures, sale catalogs, and newsletters for the company's seed stock operation. Pieces she has worked on include the Judd Ranch National Western Stock Show brochure, the October Female and March Bull Sale catalogs, as well as the disbursement of the semi-annual newsletter. Her greatest accomplishment has been being able to grow in her role, and today she has been able to complete a publication completely on her own to make all the management and design decisions. Her SAE has inspired her to pursue a career in agricultural communications or marketing. Lauren is the daughter of Taylor and Jennifer Gates, and her advisor is Christopher Bowerly. Congratulations, Lauren.
Receiving the award for the Agri-Science Research Integrated Systems Proficiency is Alexis Marie Messer, representing the Junction City FFA chapter. Pioneer sponsors this proficiency award. Alexis's research focused on the question, is hand sanitizer an effective hand washing alternative? Alexis led the experimental design, execution, and analysis of the research to test the effectiveness of hand washing versus hand sanitizer. Her research goal was to show how quickly bacteria multiplies and can cause illness or contamination as it relates to our food supply, workers, and other agriculture systems. Throughout the process, Alexis utilized feedback to improve the methodology of her study and is excited to conduct larger-scale research projects in the future. After graduation, Alexis plans to pursue a career as a veterinarian with a focus on large animal care. Her parents are James and Andrea Messer. Her advisor is Laura Miller. Great work, Alexis.
The Beef Production Entrepreneurship Proficiency Award goes to Taylor Deball of the Inman FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by Sam and Janet Hands. Taylor owns her own herd of purebred Hereford cattle that she began with just one heifer at the age of 8. Today, she manages a total of 24 cows, 4 bred heifers, 2 open heifers, 6 bulls, and 2 steers. The goal of her program is to offer elite genetics, above breed average EPDs, and all while still being structurally sound. She retains the females who meet these desirable genetics for future generations and markets the rest to other breeders or local 4-H'ers. Taylor appreciates the many skills she has gained from her SAE including knowledge about vaccination programs, artificial insemination, financial record keeping, time management, and more. Taylor is the daughter of Corey and Sally D-Ball, and Daniel Knapp is her advisor. Keep up the great work, Taylor.
Blake Herrick of the Prairie View FFA chapter is the winner of the Beef Production Placement Proficiency Award, sponsored by Tiffany Cattle Company. Blake works for Ost Land and Cattle, consisting of purebred and commercial cow-calf operations and a stockyard. Blake's responsibilities began with cleaning equipment, sweeping the shop, and groundskeeping, but today he mows, rakes, and bales hay, as well as independently driving cattle pens and treating sick animals. Having no significant prior experience with row crop production or livestock handling, Blake is proud of how much he has learned on the job. He has also learned the value of effective communication and making decisions quickly. Blake plans to pursue a career in the beef cattle industry and eventually work into a management position at a feed yard. Blake is the son of Jason Herrick and Stacy Herrick, and his advisors are Melissa Burtz and Tammy Bartholomew. Congratulations, Blake.
The Proficiency Award for Dairy Production Entrepreneurship goes to Katrina Ball of the Republic County FFA chapter. This award is sponsored by the Kansas Dairy Association. Katrina raises and shows brown Swiss. Katrina personally owns over half of the cattle that her family operation milks. She has developed her management skills in making breeding and culling decisions, feeding, monitoring herd health, and is responsible for milking twice a day. Katrina worked to overcome a challenge when a natural disaster caused the loss of half of her family's cattle and is now in the process of rebuilding her herd. She also purchases Holstein bull calves to raise as feeders to supplement her milking cattle and to help finance her education. In the future, Katrina plans to enter a career in the veterinary field. Her parents are Leonard and Ellen Ball, and her advisors are David Graham and Jed Sternad. Keep it up, Katrina.
This year's winner of the Dairy Production Placement Proficiency Award goes to Simon Schmitz of the Axtell FFA chapter. Simon works for his family's operation, the A.J. Schmitz Dairy Farm. He has been showing cattle and helping with the dairy from a young age. By high school, Simon became responsible for milking the farm's 80 cows, setting up and cleaning the parlor, feeding, and monitoring herd health. Simon also plays an active role in the growth of forage crops as he tills ground, swaths, and rakes hay, and packs silage. When a shortage of hired hands began to hinder production, Simon sought out and trained 3 new relief milkers so he could focus his time on other aspects of the farm. Upon graduation, Simon plans to attend Kansas State Polytechnic and study mechanical engineering technology. His parents are Joe and Amy Schmitz, and his advisor is Kristen Strathman. Great work, Simon.
Please help me welcome Isabel and Michael Wright as they provide a very special introduction.
This officer's story started about 19 years ago. Over the years, she has taken place in many things, including dance, showing pigs, cats, especially Addie and SJ, and high school sports.
Through this, she discovered and developed many passions, one of which being the FFA. This eventually led her to aspiring to be an ag educator. We would now like to introduce our pig and cat-loving sister. We know her as ELO, your 2019-2020 Kansas FFA Secretary, Elizabeth Wright.
There are many things that make me happy. One of those things is being the winner of any board game. My family has always enjoyed a game night, and one evening, the game of the night so happened to be my favorite board game ever, the Settlers of Catan. Now, I had only ever lost the game twice, and my family had never beaten me, so the stakes were pretty high. We were 2 hours deep into the game, and there was only one way left for me to win, and that was for me to get the longest road. To get the longest road, I needed to have at least 5 connecting pieces until somebody else had more connected, giving them the longest road. My brother, Michael, had the longest road at the time and was on pace for securing it for good. Until my mom needed to lay down a road. It so happened to be she was the only person who could cut off Michael and give me the longest road for good. It took me egging on my mom, and after much convincing and a little game advice, she laid down the road where I could walk away from the game as victor. I was thrilled and extremely happy to win the game and carry on my winning streak. But the feeling of elation and happiness only lasted for a few minutes. There was something missing. Through high school, I would rely on sports, extracurriculars, and the number of friends I had for my happiness. The one thing I knew that would bring me happiness my senior year was being a varsity starter for my basketball team. Being a starter meant I had the ability and skill to help carry my team to the best season yet. But I knew my 3 years of high school basketball was not enough to become a starter. I was so dedicated to the goal, I spent countless hours in the weight room and practicing my ball handling. I did exercise routines of lunges, push-ups, and crunches every week leading up to the season. I mean, for this season, there was so much built-up excitement inside of me for the greatness the season would bring. Then, the highly anticipated last practice before the first game came. In pregame tradition, we began to run through our offensive plays. To run through the plays, the 5 starters would be on the court together. My coach called out the names of the 5, and I anxiously awaited for my name to be called. Brooklyn, Allie, Caitlin, Brianna, Abby. My name wasn't called. I was devastated, trying to hold back my tears through the entire practice. I thought all the time spent training and practicing was all gone. There was only one way I knew how to cope with the situation, and that was to call my brother Michael. After practice, I picked up the phone, crying probably to the point he couldn't even understand me, and he listened. I told him, I don't think I'm gonna be a starter. Am I not good enough? This is not what I wanted for my senior season. At this point, I was headed to youth group, where I knew some of my closest friends would be, and where I would be at a place of peace and comfort. There are 2 things I will never forget from that phone call. First, I realized family brings me peace. Second, Michael told me, don't let this hold you back from being happy at youth group. I realized in that moment, I need to clinch onto what is important to me. While at youth group, I did find the peace I needed. With my friends around me and my faith, I found genuine happiness. Not the fleeting happiness that comes from winning a board game, eating your favorite meal, or being a starter for your basketball team. These types of surface level happiness are still good. I still enjoy these things, and I look forward to them. But I learned that genuine happiness is not fleeting. Genuine happiness is much more than competition and success, rather the family around you and the faith that gives you strength. My faith and my family, my non-negotiables, allow me to be genuinely happy. Genuine happiness happens internally with calmness and peace. This is what happens when we hold on to what is important to us, our non-negotiables. What is a non-negotiable? A non-negotiable is a value that is so important, we must have it. They could be honesty, friendships, or possibly loyalty. Non-negotiables are the things we need to hold tightly onto in both good and bad times. When we latch onto our non-negotiables, we will find authentic happiness that isn't fleeting or momentary, but constant. My non-negotiables of faith and family allow me to be genuinely happy. My faith and my family bring me peace, regardless of the situation. But non-negotiables don't just happen on their own. I allowed my non-negotiables to bring me happiness by not being afraid to pick up the phone and call my brother. I recognized I was going to youth group where I could find peace in the moment. My genuine happiness felt soft and free. I knew that with my non-negotiables, it was dependent on me, and they will always be with me, as long as I hold on to and allow the time for them. Our non-negotiables can also change over time. As a young kid, I valued the time I had spent alone and always having excitement. Today, I value the time spent with faith and family. Even though they may change, allow your non-negotiables to be the source of genuine happiness. We must work to keep them strong and at the center of our lives. Our non-negotiables may be good health, positivity, or academics. Whatever they are, allow them to bring genuine happiness. What are the non-negotiables you need to hold on to? If you are not sure, think of things that bring you a sense of peace in rough patches or confidence when you're lacking it. How will you allow your non-negotiables to bring you genuine happiness? Identify something that will remind you to prioritize your non-negotiables each day. Take a picture of this screen. At the conclusion of this session, sit down with those with you and answer these questions. Share what you need to hold on to as your non-negotiables. Listen to what others have as their non-negotiables and how they will achieve genuine happiness. Use what you hear and apply it to your life. Remember what is discussed. Hold your non-negotiables close to you and strive for genuine happiness. Always remember that our non-negotiables are the source of genuine happiness. Whatever our non-negotiables may be, allow them to bring peace and calmness within. We just simply need to grasp onto what we value, clench onto your non-negotiables, and find your genuine happiness.
Elizabeth, your passion for reality TV, going in on everything you do, as well as your love for your cats, has made this year one to remember. Your goofy attitude and constant need for competition has always kept us on our toes. Serving with you has been one big never-ending dance party with Kansas FFA members. Your strength in staying true to your faith has shown us that all things are possible, including loving the Huskers. We are so lucky to have served with you this year and are proud to call you our friend. Love always, Logan, Abby, Lucas, JW, and Mason. Kansas FFA, your 2019-2020 Kansas FFA Secretary, Elizabeth Wright.
To the administration of Blue Valley USD 384, thank you for welcoming me into the Blue Valley family and always willing to be a guide for me along the journey. Thank you for always asking questions, giving congratulations, and showing excitement towards any accomplishment. Thank you for your continued investment into me and all other students of Blue Valley High School. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the administration of Blue Valley USD 384, Mr. Brady Burton, Mr. Marion Mazook, and Mr. Matt Schreiber. Megan, thank you for always being someone I can go to if I have a question, comment, concern, you name it. Thank you for always being someone I can count on and for always bringing laughter and encouragement into my life. Mr. Meals, from the very first time I walked into the ag classroom freshman year to going through SCCL prep with you, you have always known the places I can go. Thank you for always seeing my potential and helping me achieve it. I truly look up to you. Kansas FFA members and guests, my advisors, Megan Larson and Anthony Meals. To my family, thank you for always being my cheer section through any endeavor. Michael and Isabel, thank you for being my best friends. Even if we are yelling at each other most of the time, you always fill my life with excitement. Dad, thank you for always making sure I have laughter in my life. Whether it is you showing me a meme or helping me through any project or task, you are always there for me. Mom, thank you for always being someone I can go to and for always being patient with me. I truly look up to you and I always will. Kansas FFA members and guests, it is my pleasure to introduce you to my parents, Daniel and Sheila Wright.
When repairing farm machinery, it helps you to appreciate the natural beauty around it and become part of that farm story. On my farm, some of that farm machinery dates back to the 1950s when my Grandpa Joe brought it home for the first time. Each one of our local communities have the same rich history and beauty. Whether FFA members help to grow that beauty, whether it be facilitating local community gatherings or organizing a cleanup. Our next presentation is the Building Areas Community of the National Chapter Award. Chapters focus on improving their home areas by investing time and effort in developing programs, remodeling community structures, and cultivating that natural beauty seen everywhere. The awards presented are made possible by the Farm Credit Associations of Kansas.
The chapter's ranking in the Gold Division of Building Communities, placing in 11th through 21st place in alphabetical order are Kansas City, Bueller, Clay Center, Girard, Hayes, Holton, Marion, Mission Valley, Republic County, Smith Center, and Yates Center. In 10th place, Oxford. In 9th place, Royal Valley. Receiving 8th place, Sedan. Earning 7th place, Hugoton. In 6th, southeast of Saline. In 5th place, Ellsworth. In 4th place, Chapman. In 3rd place, Udall. Earning 2nd place, Beloit. And the 1st place chapter in the area of building communities is the Riverton FFA chapter. Riverton is advised by Jacob Larison and has 97 members. Congratulations to the members and advisor of the Riverton FFA chapter, the winner of the Building Communities Division of the National Chapter Award.
We are proud to recognize Mr. Chris Mackey for his 40 years of service.
Mr. Mackey, I just want to congratulate you on your retirement, and I want to thank you for all the things that you taught me between agriculture, welding, poultry, all these different types of competitions, and all the fun trips that we went to. I'm sorry I didn't wear my blues, but you know, I've been working cattle all day, so I just want to congratulate you. All of us will miss you, and I'm very thrilled that you pushed me to be a leader, because if you didn't push me, I don't know where I'd be today.
Hello, Mr. Mackey. I just want to say thank you for everything you have done for us in my 3 years that I've had you in high school and 5 for junior high and high school together. You've made everything super, super fun, and I've learned so much, especially being a kid that's not from, you know, farm life, you know. You've encouraged me to open my boundaries, you could say. I just want to congratulate you in taking your next step in life.
Hi, Mr. Mackey. I just wanted to congratulate you on finally being able to retire from teaching ag education for so long. And also to say thank you for all the adventures that we have gone on within the FFA, from going to Colorado and Indianapolis for state and national convention, and for you helping to push me to run for a district office and now helping me through my time running for a state office. And just all the times that I've been able to come out and vent to you for stressed about school or something going on within the FFA, and just being able to work alongside you with all of my fellow officers through all the 4 years I've had within the FFA with you. So congratulations on retirement, and thank you.
So Dave and I are here, a longtime fellow teachers of Mr. Mackey. We've been asked to say a little thing about, something about Mr. Mackey. And well, I don't know. What do you want? What do you think we ought to do, Dave?
Well, we started out going to school together way back in 1972 together. We were both in Mr. Bowie's class at that time, and we all were neighbors as kids, played baseball, basketball, and everything together. But that farming and things like that kept us all close together. Chris, you have been a great neighbor. You're a great classmate. You have taught so many years. I think you said 40 this morning. You've taught 40 years here and kept this program going to a top-notch program in the state. And it's very well known for that. You're the backbone of that, and you will always be part of this community, and we remember for that. You taught so many kids and touched so many hearts of kids and led them into their futures and things like that here at Central.
Well, I was just a sophomore when you guys were seniors, is that correct?
That's correct.
Something like that. So I was just a little bitty guy. But I do remember you in high school, and like say you were the FFA instructor and ag teacher for all my children and Dave's children. And there's some stories there that I probably can't share, but maybe we'll talk about them someday, maybe, I don't know. But, and I do want to thank you, Chris, for taking care of our kids. And I went on a few trips with you at Nationals 2001, and that's what this pen is. And I do want to thank you, but the ultimate goal of a FFA kid is when you get older, if you can get in your jacket, and then the really super ultimate deal is seeing if you'll zip up. Nope, ain't gonna happen.
I didn't even break mine because I know it wouldn't zip up. But yours fits pretty good.
Yeah, it's a little small.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What would be interesting, Chris, is to see you put yours on, and I bet you could put yours on.
Yeah, he's probably gotten one since he's a senior in high school, is what I'm betting. But maybe not, I don't know. But we appreciate all you've done over the years. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Best of luck to you and Jay, and take care of them grandkids.
Go see how farming is for anyway, go.
Don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 7 o'clock p.m. for the next session of the virtual Kansas FFA Convention, where your 2019-2020 Kansas FFA Sentinel, Mason Prester, will give his retiring address, present the National Chapter Award in the area of strengthening agriculture, as well as honor a very special person for their years of service and dedication to FFA and agricultural education. We will watch the second part of our proficiency pageant and hear the retiring address of your 2019-2020 Kansas FFA Vice President, Abby Goins. Finally, we'll be joined by a very special guest, Dr. Rick Rigsby. I now call upon Kansas FFA President Logan Elliott to assume the duties of the chair.
Madam Secretary, do you have record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have none, Mr. President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this session? We are about to adjourn this virtual session of the 92nd Kansas FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.